Okay. Let's get into it. All right, so what am I going to work on today? So let me just hit play. So these things kind of trigger. Build paths. All right, so we spawn in. Got some tooltips going off. Starting to feel like a new player experience. Okay. I don't think I need to worry about this list at all right now. So I probably could get rid of this off my list today pretty easily. Let me look at the code. Oh, I always make that mistake. Okay. Leaderboard update. Update leaderboard. Let's So right now, when we update the leaderboard, we're not looking for any type of potential redeemable reward. But I do need to figure out a way to properly do that. One, I need some tunes. Let me get some tunes going. I think I'm just going to do lo-fi today. Okay. Oh, I could do a client-side check. Okay. That's better. So we're updating our leaderboard client side. So we do update the leaderboard on the client, which then can be used to notify the client if they have a reward. Perfect. The whole point here that I'm trying to architecture is not have to add more API requests to PlayFab, especially when you're doing things every kill. And so I didn't want to have code constantly checking with more API requests. With every single kind of thing you do in the game, it would constantly be checking for, you know, if you have XYZ update or whatever. But since the client has the data locally on what is the max and stuff, and we update leaderboards anyways, I can then find a way to validate these on the client. And so these are just and then I'm sure I have an interface probably, right? Or get. How am I getting these to the widget? Let's go to I guess it's this guy. Okay, whatever. Load leaderboard. Okay. Just targeting here, so load. Okay. So what am I doing the other thing for? Oh, this is updating the leaderboard. Think here. Alright, so this is updating every 5 seconds. No, this is throttling. That's batching the updates. So every time we like kill something or do something, we batch our updates, and then we finally send them, and then we send them through to here. I'm pretty sure we can do this here, and so this is actually, I should potentially clarify some of these terms here, but because there's leaderboards and then there's your like active progression for your registry. I'll use and then I think we can do, we should have some code on, let's see my graphs, redeem rewards. Alright. Alright, so when I redeem the rewards, we're looking for this stuff. So I'll have to try and do some client-side ads. Alright, so the first step is to make sure that when the client is getting these things, like maybe do an initial download of what you've redeemed already, which sets up the client to know when you actually have something new. What am I doing on begin play right now? So we're updating initial values. Of all of the chronicles. Okay, with that I can actually go right ahead and do what I want to do. So let's do this. Back on the redeem rewards. We're going to take all this. Oh, that wouldn't necessarily say you have it redeemed. Yeah, I think I can just do a big, I'm going to have to do a big get character statistics. So we don't want statistics, we want, let's just do this. So get character data. I'll figure out where to connect this after. So if you're just joining, we're building an indie MMO. It's very EverQuest and WoW inspired. So, but like we're trying to modernize it. You know, we like to say that it's EverQuest and WoW had a baby, but modernized. And so I'm working on a new player experience right now. Previously we had a different world over here, and this is going to basically, I don't have the landscape turned off, but that's going to turn into the so-called like level 8 or 10 plus area, and this is going to be the kind of like new player experience. And so you kind of start here. I have some little like combat training stuff here. It's just meant to be an area to get a feel for movement and walking around. For those that want to take a little bit of time to explore, you'll find eventually some secrets on some little secret exploration XP things. And then over here we have where you just start to kill some animals and just get a feel for combat. And I've instigated some progression elements where you don't get all your abilities right at the start now. You have to slowly, you get them pretty around like level 6 to 8, I guess most people have all of their abilities. at least for the current kit of abilities and stuff. And I still have to add more to a couple characters. I'll probably have, you're going to be limited to 8 abilities, and so you'll probably get a new ability every level until level 8 for most classes. And so when you walk out of here, it's kind of the idea of that nice point of interest as you walk out. This is where we're trying to actually, like, we don't really have a story yet, but we're going to try and do some world building and lore and stuff. And so right away, it's like kind of like this kind of interesting ancient thing, technology thing spinning around. You have kind of like we want like a Ghibli-styled world in some ways, that type of thing. And so you should really, as you walk out of this cave, have this sense of ancient magic is kind of like what this world is about, and that's kind of what we're going for. And so I have a couple little random things I'm trying to touch up with our Registry of Chronicles. Break. That's not what I want. Make. Alright, we should have this. Just call it again, I guess. So at the moment, I will just do this for now. Because you want to be careful of not spamming calls too much. And now keys is where it comes into play of, so Deem rewards. The data we're doing is going to be where is, leaderboard updates. Okay, back here. So these can be separated by comma. So we're going to get leaderboards for each. And we'll make another variable for Chronicle. Redeem. Initialize. Just say for now. And we're going to add a unique. completed that. We can now do a join string array with a comma as a separator, as keys. So I'll do a slight delay here. This only happens once, so it's not an issue. Okay, sure. Then when we break this, we're going to have to get the data, get object, and then get string, and this is value. And we're going to have to do basically this again. And then for each leaderboard, we're getting the chronicle value. We're not going to add unique. Do this. And this is going to get added to what? Hello, IDK. Yeah, this is my own game. We're just a two-person dev team right now. And so we're working on our own indie MMO called Ruins of Tearyn. I'm just working on some sort of achievement / quest system stuff at the moment. And so we're going to do a integer array. And it's going to be an integer. And we will set the array element to make sure it lines up with the index of leaderboards. All right, I think that will work. A lot of these what we'll have to do first is, I think, is it valid on this guy, just to make sure we don't get spammed with things that come back. What type of games do you play? Do you are you into MMOs? What type of MMOs do you like to play? And here we will just do a quick test if this is working right. So we're doing this equals this size to fit. All right, cool. let me put that on a little bit longer. Because some of these should actually have values. These should all be 0. Which they're all showing as 0 at the moment. Why are they all showing as 0? Try that. Get object field, get string field. This should be working. Let me look at PlayFab, make sure. I mean, I could should be able to just hit play, but oh, PlayFab, please. Your new website sucks. Alright, Chronicle Awards, Bear. Should absolutely have a 1 on it. And so these are showing as 0 too, which is also incorrect. Alright, if this equals is empty, we also don't want to do anything. Let me just skip through this for a sec. We print. Did I do that? Yeah, did I really do that? That might be why. I don't know if I just did that. Okay. Alright, so this is working, I believe. Sort of. I don't know why I'm not getting all of these. Oh, probably because some of them don't have entries. Only 5 of them have entries, so that's not it. So we started in November, end of 2024. The caveat there is that we have built a product in the past called Vertical Third, and it's on Fab. It got 2 mega grants for 100K, and it's our kind of massive game architecture. and so it has a whole lot of stuff that we would need to build an MMO. And we spent 3 years building that, and we launched it in 2022-ish, so clearly we've done updates since then. But we have a lot of our core systems, like combat, questing, crafting, action systems, multiplayer, replication, dedicated server flow. Like we have a lot of that built already. And so we've been mostly focused on design since November. And design plus a little bit of marketing, right? And we also, you know, it's not a published game. It doesn't have any financial backing, so we're not even, you know, part-time on it. So there's probably maybe like 2 or 3 months worth of full-time work here. I've been doing a kind of a big push, I would say this month, to get it to kind of the next phase that we kind of want to see it at. But we've really been trying to stress test our servers, so we've done like somewhere between like 5 and 8 playtests over the last year. It's one of those things that the industry kind of sucks for funding right now, and we're doing our best to continue to build. We, you know, very much have what a lot of the expectation is to have like a pretty big vertical slice that reduces a lot of risk factor, and we do have that, I would argue. But still, getting an MMO funded in today's days, very difficult. But that goes back to us trying to overcome it with a good pitch deck and trying to figure out how to get this thing going. My biggest thing that I believe I could get this thing funded is through somewhat of decent wish list plus a really good stress test. If I can show I can get a couple hundred people on one server, I think I'll be in a really good spot. Alright, why is this not working? Oh. Okay. Get field names. Should be working. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Like I said, I think the number one thing here is it because of this? Is there like some stupid space? I'll get a lot more weight if I can get this stress test going. So I've been like pinging the odd content creator and stuff to just try and get some form of decent show up. It's very hard to get when you're like kind of like we're sort of known out there, but it's hard to get people in to do playtesting on a early stage MMO. And that's been my challenge. Like our even though the few people that do end up showing up to our playtests, we play with them for a couple hours, sometimes like half the day. So that's been awesome. To be so early in the game and to have that much content for people to go through is pretty awesome. Why is this not working? She usually always tells me what is there. Maybe the problem is from here. What is this showing up as? Alright, let me start with one then. Exactly. And so I'm adding in like bosses. We have a raid encounter. We have a boss of the world. And why did that not work? What? Okay. So adding some cool boss fights in, and just like showing how we're modernizing it a little bit. We like to on our YouTube, we're trying to create content around things of just our philosophy of game direction and some of the technical stuff that we're doing to build the game. That's the other point. Like, everyone hears Indie MMO and like it's gonna take $20 million, and we're like, no, we're not doing that. We're a niche PvE, very specific, small thing we're doing. It doesn't have to be a $20 million game, and that's what most MMOs are failing right now, are trying to do, and they're failing because of it. We want like a 5-person team to build over 5 years and have a niche small thing. Okay, maybe I need to do get object array. Playfab, get character data. Okay. All right, data. All right. Get object field. Yeah, every MMO doesn't have to be a WoW killer, right? That's what's killing MMOs. They're trying to be everything. A big example is New World. They tried to be. They started off as a sole focus of a PvP game, and like big surprise, PvP MMOs are very minority-based game. Who would have known? Like, there's not like any history, MMO history that shows that at all, right? If they had really good PvE, if they had just done a WoW tier-based PvE game, it could have been something that stuck around for a long time. because New World did have a niche. They had a action combat MMO, which isn't really served. Even like most New World players don't know where to go right now because that style of combat isn't really out there. I'm so confused why this is not working. Hello, Wyatt Earth. How are you? Good thanks to on you yesterday. I'm currently banging my head against. Well, I might have this link down below, but just in case, I actually was paid by Epic to do a course. And so if you go to that, I'm pretty sure you can start for free. Ignore the weird start date. Like you can join any time. And my wife and I did courses 5 through 8. And the only caveat there is like, you know, technology moves very, very fast. And so when we were creating the content for that, little did we know there was a big conversion from the Unreal Marketplace transitioning to Fab. And so some of the free assets that we used in the project might not be there, but we still have gotten some pretty nice feedback on the thing. And it takes you through, we like really guide you through the steps on that takes you through to the final thing, which is building 6 different game mode prototypes, basically. We're trying to teach you how to prototype effectively and what to think about during that prototype. And so the game modes we teach you are like story, crafting, action combat, stealth survival, capture the flag, and one other thing I'm not thinking of, platformer. And there's 3 other authors there as well. There were courses 1 through 4. You might recognize some of them as well, and their content's good too. But if you want to like jump into our courses to like get to that prototyping stage, then I would suggest going through those. I even had one of my playtesters say that they went through the course like 5 times just because it had like it actually has that like a bit more professional breakdown of everything, and you know I made sure that it like goes through things pretty cohesively and the tutorial is not broken type thing. Alright, so why is this not working? This should be all set. Chronicle Awards, Bear. Oh, sorry, IDK. And got the game in the wish list. Wish you all the best. Gotta go to sleep to wake up early for the Formula 1 race. Oh, cool. Well, I hope whoever you're rooting for wins the race. Thank you for the wish list, and thank you for stopping by. And we will be doing a playtest at the end of the month. The 27th to the 29th, if anyone's interested. I should probably update I need to update the could do that right now. Actually, I'll do that later. That might take too long, so I won't have anything on the screen doing anything because I can't show that window. I can't check my wish list. We might be actually at cross the 100 wish list mark. I know it's kind of small in the grand scheme of things, but I'm at 99 wish lists. So someone could be the number 100 wish list. I mean, technically it hasn't updated since the 12th, so I think we're at 100 wish lists already. So that's cool. Yeah, I just need to import assets from a thing. No clue what to call it. I don't even know if it's on my computer. It's in my library in one place, but not in my library in another place. I seem to have projects within projects. Something tells me to migrate, but when I do, the assets are different from what's in the tutorial. I'm just now realizing the tutorial's from 5.0 and I'm working from 5.7. Yeah. It's always nice to match. I would argue that if you're going on like a long-term tutorial, it's probably better to switch to that tutorial to learn, or switch to that engine version to learn. Like I think the Coursera content was done in 5.3, if I remember right. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's 5.3. It should tell you. And it's either 5.3 or 5.2. I can't remember though. Because there will be sometimes there'll be like little things that just are different, you know, between engine versions. But if it's just like some small one-off tutorial on YouTube, then I probably would say just stick to the 5.7. And you might have to Google, you know, if you can't find an option, you might have to Google like what changed about it. Oh, it's a tutorial on the UE site, yeah. But even in that case, like sometimes on the UE site, if it's from the UE site, occasionally, if it's a written, you might find a drop-down menu somewhere on that page that lets you choose it'll say like a drop-down menu of, like, let me just show you, UE documentation blueprints. Let's just pick something random. So there should be, like right here, you might be able to find the 5.7 version. Sometimes it won't exist, depending on your category, because documentation in an ongoing tech product is like complete hell, right? To keep track of everything. But you might be able to find a more recent version. Like this is blowing me away right now, why this is not working. So let's try this. Okay. Is it literally just a problem with the stupid character ID? Like, are these not showing properly? For some reason. are showing just fine. And if it's true that this would fail if it was not working there. And just to make sure this. I'm sure there's some stupid thing I'm not thinking of. So I am working on a, I'll play out, show you. So we're doing an indie MMO, as you may have heard. It's inspired by EverQuest and WoW. It's kind of like, we always like to say, it's a EverQuest and WoW had a baby, but modernized. And so we like quality of life features. Like we have a map. I know some of the games out there that like mimic EverQuest stuff don't like to do maps, but we like to have a sense of direction. We like having, but we're keeping some of the slow-paced combat stuff from EverQuest. And so right now, so what I'm working on right now is, because we have EverQuest roots, we don't really want to, we hate quest hubs. We don't like questing, really. It's too much, right? So I was stuck on EQ and EQ2 for nice. Always good to have a EverQuester. So like just this is our old map. Like this is our old area. Right now I'm working on the Newbie yard. We're kind of all in on the camp-based system. And so if you can see here, all of these are different camps that people can kind of take. And in those camps are going to be different bosses and different loot you can get from each of those bosses. And that loot can basically be, you need the low level, rare pieces of loot to craft them into later on pieces of gear for high-end stuff. So it makes it like we really want you to take your time and appreciate that journey from low level to high level. And we are just very all in on the kind of camp-based system of stuff. And then this is the new kind of like tutorial type situation. This map I had here, you would usually start here, where there just wasn't enough room here for a proper tutorial. I didn't like the flow, and so this area is going to be converted to like level 10 plus, level 8 or 10 plus. And for here, you spawn in. We're kind of like doing the Dark Elf hometown kind of thing, where you start off in like this training cave, and like this is a prefab castle right now, but we'll eventually have our own like beautiful kind of city here. And there'll be ways that you can get experience through just exploring the town, talking to NPCs, potentially gathering stuff. But then we're just trying to teach you our combat system. And one of the main things we're trying to change in like the MMO culture is I can't stand AoE grinding. I can't stand like how the meta has evolved of pull everything you can and just AoE cleave everything down. I hate that meta with a passion. And so I don't want you, and then the other aspect is I don't want you to button mash. I make this reference where RTS games like StarCraft and Warcraft were like renowned for having this insane actions per minute, right? Well, MMOs have gotten to the point where when you're in combat, you are quite literally like matching actions per minute that like RTS games did. And so we want you to basically, your auto attack is giving you combo points. And so the combo points are represented through, and I might change the phrasing of combo points. I might make a different thing for that, but your auto attack increases your combo points, and your abilities will change based on how many combo points you have. And so and then the resource management of it also changes. So a rank 1 combo ability will use less, it's the most efficient. A rank 3 will use the most, but it's the most inefficient type thing. And like there's certain aspects of that we don't know about, but it's the direction we're going in as we iterate, right? Like this is only my like second iteration of our unique combat system. And so the rogue right now, it's pretty base forward, you know, a low, and I haven't changed the resource management stuff, but a 3 combo point, it will be your strongest backstab type thing. And kind of these different factors. But like with a kick, it'll be like a longer, you know, it won't just be an interrupt, it'll be like a 3-second, you know, stun type thing. And so there's different things like that that we're kind of working on with the combat system. And really playing on like WoW, in WoW you'd use different ranks of spells to like play with mana efficiency, and so I like that kind of aspect of it. And then forcing players to auto attack, and like we want the game to be more about like a chess mindset. So instead of actions per minute, it's more like thoughts per minute, and you're consistently thinking about how many combo points you have and when you want to use the right spell in that situation. And the other example is like a mage has a fireball, and rank 1 fireball is just a fireball with a direct damage. Then the second rank of fireball is a direct damage with a dot, and the third one is an area effect fireball damage with a dot that gets applied to everything, right? But you might not, obviously, if things are mezzed or slap type thing, you're not going to want to use that area effect fireball in that situation. And so it's going to be very particular situations you want to actually use an area effect fireball. And we really want you to kind of make those decision makings and not have to be spamming buttons, but like thinking about your combo points and using things at the right time, right place and right time, and like making sure you hit from behind, is the standard practice in EverQuest. So the tank has to turn the mob, these type of things. You get like 20% more damage from hitting things from the behind. And then there could be moments where like a stun build up or stasis build up type thing, that the monster will be extra weak at certain periods of time. And that's where maybe it's like 4 times damage in that short window of period. And so you want to make sure you're saving your spells for that exact moment in time. So much more strategic in thinking over button mashing type thing. The outdoor areas, like kind of like this here, will be a little bit more WoW influenced, where very soloable, type content. Some of these camps we might need, maybe 2 or 3 people to take on. And there's a lot of like help or things. We have trees that you can loot that help with healing and recovery. Your rest has auto. When you hit X, your rest has out of combat recovery values, so it's not like EverQuest slow. But then when you go into dungeons, it's going to be more intense, more death penalties, harsher recovery times. Nothing's instanced, so everything's open in that way. And we really want to be that kind of social, go grind some XP at a camp and chill with people and chat and stuff. I love the Monster Memories guy talked about how EverQuest was like chat rooms with dragons, and I think that's a pretty good analogy of what we're trying to end up being. And then obviously have all like the raid content and stuff later on, but we want to have a solid early game kind of progression. And so this is kind of working on the newbie experience and trying to teach as much as possible through gameplay and environment storytelling without any type of window pop-up, tutorial in your face, while not critting the player with a big wall of text. And so because of that, I created like this little just target dummy area. I've been watching a lot of content creators play um, different MMOs, and like the first thing to do is like judge the art style, judge the movement, the jumping, and then combat and the combat feel of everything. And so that's kind of like the couple quick questions I want to be answered when the player first enters the game. And these tooltips are kind of a way of, it's kind of small and discreet, but it's sort of in your face to teach you how to do things. And so hopefully people, even if one person doesn't catch them all, their person they're playing with or someone else might catch one that they didn't, and be able to tell them that later on. And then over here is something I built yesterday, where it's just kind of like a narrative experience that's clean and hides your UI and stuff. And those will be like how we do different narrative events or teach different things through that. And going back to the original question, what I'm working on now is the Registry of Chronicles, and that goes back to, we don't want to be a like quest game, and so my solution to that is combining achievement systems with quest systems. And so you can go and basically kill a bunch of bears and get bonus XP for it if you just want to grind bears. And these will also, like right now it's just experience rewards, but in the future these will be class-based rewards as well. And that kind of promotes that you can go anywhere and go farm a camp anywhere and killing if you want it, but that, even though this thing might not give me loot personally, killing them a bunch of times might give me a specific item I need on my Chronicles track. So it's the idea of personal loot that you can still acquire as well. And so there's a lot of balance of helping that kind of avenue of things. And you're basically getting those kill quests, getting those exploration quests, those crafting quests, just through a achievement system versus a like a quest hub. I hate the idea of quest hubs. I want you to be able to like kind of pick a direction and someplace and go and like just start doing shit and get rewarded for doing shit. Yeah, that's a little bit the rundown. We have, as a background on us, we're 10-year Unreal Engine veterans. We, even though we only started the project in November, we previously got 2 mega grants for our game tech, Vertical Third, which got 100 grand in awards from the mega grant system. And we obviously built that in mind. We built it from like 2019 to 2022, and we built that in mind from in the future one day building an MMO, obviously. And that's why we're kind of more focused on design at this stage versus building just normal systems that you'd be working on in a year's worth of time. And we're also not like venture backed or funded in any way, so we we haven't even been part-time on the project so far. We're in like we literally say we're in pre-production still. We're not even at like any type of beta or alpha or anything like that. We announced the game like literally like 2 months after we started the project. We did we did get featured on the Unreal Engine live stream a while back. It was about a year ago. Ruins of Tearyn inside Unreal. If you ever want, I mean, I kind of like summarized everything I went over there, but there's more technical details and stuff. Right, it's crazy this is not coming back with anything. Okay. Get character data results. User data record. I just do value. Does that show up with something? I'm looking for a return that says 1. Why is this? Get object array. Let me think here. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm working my way through it. But there's a big Lex Friedman interview with Jeff Kaplan that came out a few days ago. And Jeff talked about his crazy, venture into EverQuest, and how he was, I guess, eventually became the guild leader of Legacy of Steel, and how he had easily, in like a 3-year period, almost a full year playtime. And I definitely have at least a year playtime in EverQuest. I'd be surprised. I know one of my characters had definitely over 200 days played. Obviously, some of that's a little bit of AFK time, but there's a good amount of time across all my characters. I'm trying to understand why this is not working. So the call works. Making sure there's no spaces. And we randomly try something else. Let's do like playtime. Actually, I can go to the controller and see what I might be doing wrong. Am I like just blanking right now? Oh, I'm a dork. That's what I'm doing wrong. So PlayFab has different types of character data. There's like public character data, and then there's internal. And that would be what I'm doing wrong, like a dork. And you want it to be internal because you only want the server to be able to do anything with it. And so this is the problem I'm doing. And now I can just go back to this because this should finally work. So I'm a dork. Okay, goodbye, goodbye. Now we do get object field with this. I don't need this, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. I don't think I need that. Alright, get this guy. That goes into there. And so if, yeah, we don't need that. And now we get string field value. This is empty, we don't do anything. Well, I guess it's always 0, so it doesn't matter, but oh, I guess I should do we set it here, and then if it's not, we're going to set it to -1. And now let's just print the value we're getting. So I can verify from cloud. That it's correct. Bear should be 1. There we go. Yay. Do tiny cleanup on this stuff. Again, I'm not too concerned about code cleanup stuff right now. I'm more focused on just getting content in, having it moderately clean. Because a lot of like this section of code can be a function. This can't go in a function because it's latent. And then finally, I have an update client. What am I calling this again? Registry of Chronicles Redeem. Current. to be a sure. Okay. And so this is set on the server. And so we can reuse this on the client and set it on the client. And so once we set it on the client, now we need to update the widget with the color or something. Excuse me. So if we look at our registry, when we click these things, we can track the values that we already have the local values of where we are, but we don't have the local values. We have just implemented the local values of what we've redeemed already. So now the redeemed ones have to be a like faded out green or something like that. You know, just make it more obvious that you've already redeemed it. And maybe I'll just do a so first up, get owner, get controller. What did I do? What do I do over here? So alright, this is what I do. Reward track. Boom. And now we need a reward track widget. And to get the object. And get the I suppose I think I'm gonna access the object from here. Or now, when I load it, okay, this stuff's on load, so it's gonna be the reverse. So I don't think I need. Alright, so when I do I'm going to do so image complete. Let's do a variable for reward redeemed. Alright, that's something else, I think. Actually, yeah, this goes here. This will probably go here. So image complete. We're going to set color. We'll set it to maybe, what do I have it currently as? Let's take the alpha to like .25. And then maybe I do need to do a different color. Maybe we'll just do it like a gray and keep it high. And then do like .7. And then when we're loading the reward track, where do we set this? Alright, so we need to put it here. Get current value. I think I'm gonna merge this. Get current. And let's add a result to this. And then back over here. If this is equal to Oh, I do have an error here. I'll deal with that later. If the redeemed value is... Okay, let's just try this. Doesn't work. Did I not set it up over here? Let's try. Oh, okay. I think it's this is what I want. Alright, cool. Now that one's faded out. So we're almost there. And then, so this is 2. Just keep it there. And then we're going to take the button and remove disable. Get button or to false. Beautiful. Now we know exactly which one we've gotten. And I think I will do the render. Set render. Opacity a little brighter. Why is that not working? Okay, worked this time, really? I think I'll put the Z value on this underneath everything. Negative 100 instead. Yeah, that's better. And then I can also Okay, so we're close to what I want. Alright, so I have it, so you now know when you click this what you've redeemed. Now I do have a bug. Because basically if I redeem that one... Oh, okay. So it would redeem all of them. Alright, maybe that's not too bad then. And then if I go back here and back here... Oh, I don't have it to update it. Let me think. I think I need to change how I'm redeeming the reward. So right now I grant you everything. If you click one lower, it grants you everything. Which I don't think I want to do. I want them to be just point and click. So then I'll just test on bears. I set it to nothing in the cloud. Why is that 0? That should not be claimed. Okay, so if this equals -1, Let's see here. Oh, it's this that I'm supposed to be checking. All right. Okay. Um. It's coming back at 0. Why is it coming back at 0? is that coming back as 0? It's not very helpful. All right. Why, oh why is this returning if we're setting it here? What? Am I really not calling? Wow, I'm not even calling it. How is it working if I'm not calling it? It's so strange. Very strange. It's not the right thing. Alright, that's good. Yep, that should be correct. I don't think I need this at all. So that's properly updated now. Now I go back here, and this should work now. Okay. It's still accepting everything. But now that I do that, it should gray everything out. Yep. Okay, what do I want to do now? Sorry if that was loud. I need to stay committed to finish this part of everything. So now I need a RT update redeem reward. I have an index probably, or this might be just a string like a leaderboard, and value. Track object. So when we click it, or I should say when we redeem it, should be some sort of client call here, right? Pretty sure I do a get, right? Get external data. Here's the current value. that is more proper. Doggos going bonkers. Now the problem with this, it does change a bunch of stuff. So let me just go to my data, go to bear, set to -1. Alright, I'm going to take a little break. I'll be back later. Thank you for watching. I need a bit of a stretch and kind of reset before I dive into this next stage. Cheers.